Good morning, class. It is almost the end of May and we are already reeling under the summer heat. What are we waiting for? Yes, the rainy seasons. So, today we are going to study how this rainy seasons reaches us, the mechanism of southwest monsoon winds in India, its branches and paths. Before we start with today's portion, let us watch something and put our thinking caps on. What does this first picture tell us? Yes, we are feeling very hot and exasperated in summer. And here is the second one, which tells us how relieved we feel when finally monsoon arrives. This is not just at an individual or personal level. India is a country which is based on agriculture. So, the entire India feels relieved once the monsoon arrives. Not only our agriculture, but the entire economy too depends on the timely arrival of monsoon. We have already learned about precipitation, wind systems and pressure belts in our previous classes, and in our very last class we covered a thorough introduction about India's climate. We learned that monsoons are a type of moisture bearing winds that cause heavy rainfall all over the subcontinent, and that the word monsoon comes from mauson. Keeping that in mind, let us do a quick recap of what we learned before this. So please take out your class note copies and write down only the blanks. Before crossing the equator, the southwest monsoon winds were blowing as dash. The force that caused them to change direction is known as the dash. Low pressure condition prevailed over dash part of the Indian landmass, which attracted moisture bearing winds from surrounding dash where the pressure conditions were dash. The dash acts as a climatic divide in India. Dash, dash and dash are three of the many factors affecting climate of India. I am positive you all did very well in your recap test. So let us start with today's lesson. Today we are going to see what temperature and pressure conditions prevail over the subcontinent and surrounding oceans, and that act as a magnet to these moisture bearing winds. It is extremely hot, as we can see over the northwestern part of India. Over this part, it's extremely hot, the sun is shining. Due to this heat, the air above the land becomes lighter and rises up. This rising air creates a region of low pressure over this area. The oceans are comparatively cooler and high pressure prevails over them. As we know, wind blows from an area of high pressure to low pressure, so these winds blow from the sea to the ocean. Hence we can say that this area, the northwestern part of India, acts as a magnet for moisture bearing winds blowing from the surrounding ocean areas. So we can say that the differential heating of land and ocean causes the arrival of monsoons in India. Also, we need to know when does this happen. This heating over this area, over the land mass, happens mainly during the end of April, May and beginning of June, and monsoons arrive in the beginning of June. To be specific, in the first week of June. So now we need to see the path of the winds over the oceans and coastal areas. Before going into this, let us quickly recap what we knew about the southeast trade winds. They were blowing below the equator. As soon as they crossed the equator, they started to change their direction due to the Coriolis force and blew as southwest monsoon winds. The first burst of monsoon occurs in the tip of India, in the Kanyakumari region in Kerala. Kerala is the first state to receive rains from the southwest monsoons. The amount of rain received by Kerala is also very high. After that, gradually the western side of the Western Ghats receive rainfall from the southwest monsoons. This is known as the Arabian Sea branch of the southwest monsoon winds. The amount of rainfall gradually decreases from the southernmost tip as we move upwards towards the north. We can see the size of the clouds are gradually decreasing. So the amount of rainfall received here near Kerala, near the southernmost tip, is more than that of Goa, and it's even lesser in Maharashtra. But as a whole, the whole of the coastal area of Western Ghats and the western side, western slope, that is the windward side of Western Ghat, receive heavy to very heavy rainfall. And this entire rainfall is caused by the Arabian Sea branch of the southwest monsoons. Next we come to the Bay of Bengal branch. The Bay of Bengal branch reaches the Orissa and West Bengal coastal area and Bangladesh. It causes heavy to very heavy rainfall in Orissa and West Bengal coastal area. The next branch through the Brahmaputra valley reaches Garo, Khasi, Jaintia hills. Now these three hills, Garo, Khasi and Jaintia, located in Meghalaya plateau, are funnel shaped. So what happens, the clouds get trapped over there and cause very heavy rainfall. These winds also cause rainfall all over the northeastern states of Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Mizoram. Another sub-branch of the Bay of Bengal branch of southwest monsoon winds goes towards Myanmar. But here we will be only considering the winds that reach India. I hope this part was clear. Next we come to what happens to the path of the winds once they reach the landmass. Up to now we were seeing what happens in the coastal areas just before landfall, like the winds are blowing over the water bodies and they reach the coastal areas. Now we will see what happens to them after they reach the landmass. So all these winds that had reached the western side of the Western Ghats, that is the windward side of the Western Ghats, they caused very heavy rainfall, as we know. They gradually moved towards the Deccan Plateau, towards the interior of the continent, and the amount of rainfall decreases. Now why does this happen? Let me give you an example. Suppose you stay a block away from a pond, and one day there is no water supply at your home and you need to draw water from the pond with the help of a bucket. Now this bucket has a small hole in the bottom. You did not know that. So now what you do, you reach the pond, you take the water from the hole is very small, okay, so all the water will not fall at the same time. So you take the water from the pond and you slowly start walking towards your home. You'll notice that the amount of droplets that fall on the ground will be more towards the pond, and gradually it will decrease when you reach your house, and maybe the bucket will become empty by the time you reach your house. Why this happens? This happens due to the pressure of the columns of water. But actually the clouds are not exactly like a bucket, but I just explained this so that you understand what happens. The clouds or the winds are moisture bearing. They are holding moisture that they picked up from the sea. But this moisture is of a fixed amount. When they shed the moisture over a certain part, they lose that moisture. As they start moving towards the interior of the continent, they gradually become lighter. That is, their moisture content gradually decreases and the amount of rainfall also decreases. So the eastern side of the Western Ghats or some parts of the Deccan Plateau like central Maharashtra and central Madhya Pradesh, they receive very less rainfall, almost scarce rainfall. Okay, so this is one main branch of the Arabian Sea branch of southwest, sub branch of the Arabian Sea of southwest monsoon winds that we are talking about. Next comes the branch that enters Indian subcontinent through the Narmada Tapi valley. Okay, so this one enters the Indian subcontinent through the Narmada Tapi valley, and they cause a lot of rainfall over there, and they gradually lose their moisture, and by the time they reach somewhere in central eastern India, the clouds become dry, the winds become dry winds. Okay, the next winds, these are also similar. They reach the Ganga plain Then we talk about the ones that reach the foothill of Himalayas and run parallel to the Aravalli range. These winds enter through Gujarat and then they blow over Rajasthan. They do not cause any rainfall on Rajasthan, especially on the western part of Rajasthan. You need to understand this very clearly. Why? There are very two pronounced reasons. One is, as you saw, they ran parallel to the Aravalli range. When a mountain is blocking its way, they force the winds to climb up the mountains, and as the winds climb up the mountains, they become cold winds and they're forced to shed their moisture. But when these winds are moving parallel to a mountain range, their path is not blocked. It's not like a wall that is causing them to shed their moisture, so they just run over it and do not cause any rainfall over Thar desert, and that's why Thar is a desert. Another reason why this happens is this area, or northwestern part of India, the Thar desert and western Rajasthan, it's extremely hot, it's extremely heated up, and as we know, dry winds, dry hot temperature increases the moisture bearing capacity of winds. The clouds are not forced to shed their moisture. Now we come to the Bay of Bengal branch. What happened to the cloud that had reached the West Bengal and Ganga Delta? It moves all along till the western part of the country. It moves from Kolkata till maybe Delhi and to the foothills of Aravallis. These winds cause rainfall all along the path of the Ganga Valley, all over the path of the northern plains. But what happens? They cause more rainfall near the coast and less rainfall as they move away from the coast. So we can say that Kolkata receives more rainfall than, say, Patna. Patna receives more rainfall than Kanpur. Kanpur receives more rainfall than Lucknow, and Lucknow receives more rainfall than Delhi. So Delhi here receives least rainfall compared to Kolkata from this Bay of Bengal branch of southwest monsoon winds. Finally, we come to the winds that had got stuck in the Garo Khasi Jaintia region. They cause very heavy rainfall over this area, and this area is most probably, it's surely the area in India that receives the heaviest rainfall. Not only in India but all over the world, this is the area that receives the heaviest rainfall. It spreads to all over the northeast states. Let's discuss some FAQs about the southwest monsoon winds. The southeast trade winds after crossing the equator blow as southwest monsoon winds. We know why? Due to the Coriolis force. These are moisture-laden winds blowing from the surrounding oceans into the landmass. Low pressure over the northwestern part of the country attract these winds that blow from high pressure area over the seas. The winds hit the southernmost tip of the country at Kanyakumari. This is known as burst of monsoon, that is the sudden violent onset of monsoon in the first week of June, and bifurcate into two branches due to the peninsular shape of India. The Arabian Sea branch is stronger than the Bay of Bengal branch because Arabian Sea is a vast open ocean compared to Bay of Bengal. The amount of rainfall decreases from the coastal areas towards the interior of the continent. Let us look at a quick summary of all these branches. So, southwest monsoon winds have two main branches. The Arabian Sea branch, the one that blows over the Arabian Sea, and the Bay of Bengal branch. The Arabian Sea branch has three sub-branches. The one that hits the western side of the Western Ghats, the one that moves through the Narmada Tapi basin, the one that blows over Rajasthan parallel to the Aravallis and cause no rainfall over Rajasthan but rainfall to the foothill of the Himalayas. Now coming to the Bay of Bengal branch, the three main sub-branches are the one that reaches India, the one that goes to Bangladesh, and the one that goes to Myanmar. The one that reaches India has two distinct divisions. One that is causing rainfall in the Ganga basin and moves westward, and the one that is causing rainfall in the Brahmaputra valley, Garo Khasi Jaintia hills and Assam. I hope this lesson was interesting. So let's do a quick exercise. Open your class note copies and write the following answers. These should be very short. Which branch of southwest monsoon winds cause heavy rainfall in northeastern part of India? Name the place that receives the heaviest rainfall. Why does Rajasthan receive minimum to no rainfall from southwest monsoon winds? Why is central Maharashtra a dry area? Why does Delhi receive less rainfall than Kolkata? Define burst of monsoon. Thank you students. I hope this lesson was interesting for you.